What's up, everybody? It's Detebits back with some more Elite Dangerous. I know it's been about a week since the last time we played this, and in just a little bit of time on a new save, was able to get enough money to actually get a Cobra Mark III and have quite a bit of change left over, so that I have some room for upgrades when I get to a station that allows me to buy them. Also got this nice Azure paint job for the Cobra as well. My Sidewinder also had this Azure paint job. I guess it's kind of a special thing that Frontier has given out to people, just for playing for as long as they have, or in preparation, kind of just a little bonus thing in preparation for Odyssey when it finally drops. So let's go ahead and continue on. We will go into an open play session here in the Dromi system. We're currently on Mawson Dock. I always like that the loading screen gives kind of the goldish outline of your ship. Okay, so this is the cockpit of the Cobra. If you have, well, I mean, everybody should have Horizons now, and I haven't been able to get it to work on the PlayStation version of the game. I've tried before with a couple of friends that also had this game installed, but there's a co-pilot seat, and there are ways that you can have multiple crew in your ship. So the Cobra, when it starts out, isn't really anything special. It does have it's basically it's a bigger Sidewinder. So you get two more hard points. These are medium hard points though, so that you can fit bigger weapons to them. So you got two on top and two on the bottom. You got these down here, which are usually empty right when you get the ship. Currently, it's just got the little tiny pulse lasers. Let's see if we can upgrade these. Mining tools, pulse lasers. There we are. And okay, so right now it's got I've got fixed lasers installed. I'm not too good with fixed weapons. Again, I'm not really a combat pilot, so I don't really do a whole lot of dogfighting. But I may want to do that just to get a little bit of to get a little bit more funds available. So I'm going to switch these out for the gimbaled lasers. And that just means the lasers themselves can turn a little bit to help keep you on target. They're a little less powerful than the fixed lasers. Gimbaled and turreted weapons are less powerful than their forward-firing fixed component or counterparts. Now, if you see, I've got the down at the bottom. There's the power. I've got a max power of 10.4 megawatts. And retracted, my ship is using 7.23. Deployed, with all of my hardpoints deployed, I'm using 8.1. If I add another laser, you see there it puts me up to 8.4. So I could, well, here we'll go ahead and load out with an all laser loadout. I sometimes think that I should be using kinetic weapons like the multi-cannons and stuff more. But they have, again, I'm not really that good of a shot, and they have ammunition. So if I burn through my ammunition, well, then I gotta leave wherever I'm fighting and go. If I'm doing some bounty hunting, I gotta leave and go back and resupply. So yeah, other than that, there's no real utility mounts here. I don't think that I can buy. Chaff launchers, heat sink, shield boosters, those aren't what I'm looking for. Internals, I don't think I can improve any of these here in the pilots. Well, that's a little bit better. So I'm still in the Pilots Federation. You can see here, if I upgrade to a 4D frameshift drive, one, it's lighter than the 4E. The 4E is 10 tons, and the D is 4 tons. D grade components are generally a little they're generally a little bit lighter, and you can see there it also bumps up my jump range. I can go now with my current loadout 13.19 light years maximum. So we'll go ahead and upgrade this. Let's see what else we've got. The D thrusters are not a bad upgrade. They're cost a little bit more power. Anything right now to kind of help. Let's see. Can I upgrade the power plant? I can upgrade the power plant. So, upgrading the power plant, one, it bumps up my maximum power allotment. But two, you can also see if you look at my balance, or when I go to buy it, I can exchange it for the current component that's in there, and if I do that, it's only going to cost me 35, a little over 35, or a little over 35,500 credits. I'm not planning on keeping the E equipment, so it can all. But it's a way to save money as you upgrade. And each one of these that I do for the D component, the D stuff is a little bit better than the E grade. It's not really that much better, but it's gonna save me some weight and allow me to jump further. Your power distributor is what moves power back and forth between weapons, shields, and engines. So we'll go ahead and put that on. And I'm upgrading my sensors just to get them lightweight. Because if you look, there's no real difference between. I mean, there's a little bit of a difference, but not really a huge difference between my primary or the E rating and the D rating sensors. But every little bit of jump range helps. Bulkheads can't change. Well, I can't change them here. Let's look at my optionals. I've got a couple of cargo racks, a shield generator. Let's see if I can upgrade this at all. I've got a four grade shield generator, but here on Dromi, you can see the 3 dots next to the shield generator. That the best shield that I could put on here would be a 3, which is less than what I've got. You can see it's a downgrade in my shield strength. So we'll leave that shield in place. Leave a couple of cargo racks. I've got my super cruise, planetary assist. Let's see what we've got here. Not really a whole lot more that I want to add for to the Cobra. We'll throw in a planetary vehicle hangar just in case I want to go down down on a planet every once in a while. And with that, I have to purchase the actual vehicle itself. That's the Scarab. Then I got one more. Let's see if I can up these. No. Okay, so the cargo racks have a maximum here again in Dromi of a 3 space, which I've already got. So let's go ahead and upgrade. Put on another cargo rack, just to give me that little bit of extra carrying capacity. Okay. That's going to be my current loadout. Fire group reminder. That's right. So if you change out your weapons, you got to go to your fire groups, and you can see all of my pulse lasers are on fire group A. I want them all to fire on the same trigger pull, and then my scanners. I'm going to put these in a different fire group because I also have to change cockpit modes to get these active. We will put the discovery scanner on 1. And these on 2. So the discovery scanner will trigger on my press of the right trigger, and data link and composition scanners will go off of my left trigger. All right. I think we are ready to launch. I know it's. So let's see if there's any missions here. So it's mining. Source and return 5 units of uranium. Mining again. Mining again. um, so what? Let's see. You know what? There's not really a lot to do inside the Pilots Federation. So we are actually gonna. Oh, sorry. There's one thing that I did want to equip on this ship that I completely forgot about at first. So I got to go back into my outfitting. This is just something I never fly without one of these, just because I don't want to get out somewhere and run out of fuel. So we will replace one of my fuel racks, or cargo racks, with a fuel scoop. This allows me to pop in around certain classes of stars and refuel. And I'll show you. I will also be updating my galaxy map to show the right kind of stars to do that. So we are going to actually go to the galaxy map now, because I want to get out of the Pilots Federation area. There's nothing really to do here. But if I go to this here is where I am. This, if I want to go to a different place, I would set I could type in my destination here if I want to. Fastest routes. Okay, that's one of the things that I always set. Okay, I don't currently have any bookmarks. If I go realistic, why is this? We'll put these on. Not that I plan on getting into any squadrons. But I basically want to get outside of the Pilots Federation. So let's set course to the Oesta system. Plot the route. Just one jump. And now there's no system data available here. Okay. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I forgot to switch to the map. So what I can do is go, if I want to change my map configuration, go to here where it says allegiance, and you can set it to none, of course. Commodity, you can use this for trading, what services are available, what kind of civilizations, governments, economy, whatever. I usually put it on star class, and then if you look here at the different stars that are highlighted, there is a little bit of an acronym that a lot of players use to determine what stars they want to go to, because these are the ones that you can refuel from, and they are the K, G. Well, it's all of these that are checked off at the top. The O, B, A, F, G, K, and M. But the little saying that a lot of people use to remember that is KGB foam. FOAM, because those are the types of stars that you're listed that you want to go to. If you wanted to go to other types, you can. Brown dwarfs, white dwarfs. You can also hunt for black holes by and pulsars by checking the non-sequence stars. Just all kinds of good stuff there. But let's go ahead and get on out. So we're going to go to the Oesta system, and it actually does not have a refuelable type star, but I set my destination there before I did my route filter. Nice little view of the Cobra as we leave Mawson Dock here. So we're gonna say goodbye to the Pilots Federation. Again, you can't really. I mean, you can make okay money in here, but it doesn't really do much for your reputation outside. And then with the large space stations, like Mawson Dock here, you've got to be, I think it's 7.5 to 8 kilometers away from them before you're no longer mass lock. Oh no, I'm outside of mass lock range now. That's okay.
You have left the no-fire zone. Flight control signing off.
Maybe it's only about 6 kilometers away because they're large, so they have a pretty significant impact on gravity. Okay, so Esta's 12.6 light years away. I can easily make this in one jump. I've got an unladen range of about 14, I think. Jump in. Esta looks like a so this star is past main sequence. I don't know what type of star it is. Switch combat mode. Discovery scanner. And that's something a lot of people do, like that you do when you come into to a star system that you've never been to before, is trigger the discovery scanner. You do what is affectionately known as honking because of the sound that it makes. Here, I'll do it again. Yeah, that's that sound. Everybody just kind of calls that honking. You come in, you honk the system, and then that will also tell you what types of planets and stuff are in system. Now, it doesn't tell you exactly what type of planets, but you can see there are a couple of unexplored by me. So my ship has never been into this. This is the first time my ship has been in the system. There are a couple of planets that my ship's onboard computer doesn't have information on. You can go and scan these, and if you have the right equipment, map them to get to sell that navigational data and make money, but there's no real planets in here that that do that for me. So we are gonna continue on, and I'm gonna make a checkpoint here. Nope. This is always one of the first bookmarks that I set. It's our solar system. Now I cannot plot a route to it because it's permit locked. I don't have the right standing with the Federation, so I can't get into to planet Earth, or to our solar system. There are a couple of other planets or a couple of other systems around that are the same, that are kind of the same, but I do this just so that I can have Sirius is another one. Just so that I can have a couple of good bookmarks and a couple of good places that I can travel to, and I'm putting myself into kind of Federation territory. Now you see here the Mildeptu system that I've plotted a course to is contested. Well, it's I can go right there, and it gives you a little bit of information. It's an independent system, but it's gonna have Federation contacts in there. It's got a population of 20.8 million people. It's an industrial type economy. So I'm gonna go ahead and go there. I have enough fuel to get there in one trip, but we'll go through some refueling stuff too as we go through. There is one thing. Let's apply filter to the route. All right, and there we go. Okay, so I've got my destination set, Mildeptu. It is 6 jumps away, and I'm gonna go ahead and let's get to the next system. I'll show you the refueling, and then we can rejoin when I get to Mildeptu.
Frameshift drive charging.
Right now, we're just traveling within what is known as the bubble. The bubble is the extent of the majority of the population of humanity. We are now in the LHS 499 system. Let's honk it.
System scan complete.
Now there are two orbital bodies in here, so there's either I think this is a double star system. It's a binary star system. Yeah, it's a binary. So you've got the main sequence orange star and an orbiting looks like brown dwarf or a red dwarf. I'm not entirely sure. And it. Okay, this should be the main. This should be the main star in my display right here. And the other is back there. There's LHS 499B. So these are actually really far apart. Sometimes you'll get in there and they'll be like super close together, but that's it takes light from this star to reach there 119,002 seconds. That's how far, the light seconds. So that's how far the light can travel in a second. But that's beside the point. So you see this ring around the star here. You can't see me pointing at my screen. I'm doing hand motions. You guys can't see. That is the absolute closest I can get to the star without being dropped out of Super Cruise. So I want to stay outside of that line, but get as close as I can because you can see my fuel scoop is active, and I can slow right down here. I don't need to keep moving. And just kind of hang out. You see, like my heat is kind of holding steady. It's going up a little bit, and I'm pulling in about 24.86 units of fuel a second. Slowly getting my fuel up. If I got a little bit closer, I could probably get that up a little bit higher. But then your heat starts to climb up, and if your heat goes up too high, you blow up. You get plenty of warning though. Here, I'll actually if I get closer. There you can see I'm starting to gather more fuel. But you notice my heat is going up, and you can see steam starting to rise from my electrical components inside the ship. And all the alarms start beeping, everything starts getting angry at you, and we are at 100% heat. So I gotta pull away from the star really fast because you start taking heat damage and it actually starts degrading some of the modules. You can see here, like my cargo hatch has taken some damage. One of my pulse lasers has taken some damage, from being too close to the sun for too long. Frame shift drive, so it's one of the things. It's a balancing act. You got to get as close as possible to not fry yourself while getting as much fuel as you possibly can. So next stop is LHS 3295, and this is where I'm going to drop out for a minute or two until I get to my destination, and we will join back at Matet. My mistake. We're not going to Matet. Sorry, I just popped in for a sec. We're not going to Matet. We're going to Mildeptu. Matet was still actually inside the Pilots Federation. Okay, so that was the last update from me, and then it's going to take a couple of minutes to get to Mildeptu, refueling along the way, so we will rejoin there. Alright, here we are on our way to Mildeptu. Final jump of this little trip that I plotted. Popping out any second now. Okay, so here we are. It's a nice bright yellow star. Let's see what we've got in system. So we've got a couple of fleet carriers. We've got, looks like another star. There's a couple, it's at least a binary system. And what I'm going to look for is... Let's look at the system map and see what kind of... Okay. So, Mildeptu is a binary star system. The more massive of the two stars was here, Mildeptu A, but everything else looks like it's orbiting around Mildeptu B. And there is a starport here, but it's going to take us a long time to get there. That's over 116,000 light seconds. So that's that's a fairly decent trip even at maximum speed because I can't jump through witch space to get there. This is considered one system, and that's in-system travel. So let's pause here. We will look at the galaxy map again. Let's try and find a better destination. Those are all of the pilots' these down here are all of the pilot Federation stations or systems. So I can't get into Sirius, I can't get into Sol, but any of you Star Trek fans out there, it's Wolf 359, and I'm pretty sure there's at least a small outpost in the Wolf 359 system. Just orient myself. Now you'll see something when I do fuel scooping. You'll often see that I rotate myself so that the star is at the top of my screen. That's just easy. I mean, it's just the easiest way for me to kind of keep myself at the right spacing, because you can kind of keep the orbit line between your info and communications panel and the uprights on the sides of your HUD.
Frameshift drive charging.
Yeah, I remember chuckling the first time I jumped into the Wolf 359 system, because I do watch Star Trek. I do enjoy it, and I was just on a just kind of kidding around with myself, saying maybe I can find some wreckage. So let's see what's here. And we have a couple of starports. We have the Lomas Orbiter and Powell High. There's also some planetary outposts that we could land on as well. But this one is only 52.9 light seconds away, so we will head towards Lomas Orbiter. Ugh, can't talk, sorry. Some of these have some pretty funky names. Orient myself, and let's look for Lomas itself. There it is, and hook on the Super Cruise Assist. Oop, a little too close. I may blow past this because I got a little too close beforehand. Yeah, I was going way too fast because it's such a close location that I didn't get a chance to set my my Super Cruise Assist before I was way too close and had built up too much speed. But once the assist is active, it takes over everything. So I couldn't even adjust my own course and speed if I want. Well, I could always adjust my course, but I wouldn't have been able to adjust my speed even if I wanted to. I had no choice but to blow past the station and then do the loop of shame around to come back at it from another side. I do this. I use the assists, one because I'm kind of lazy. Sometimes you've got large distances to travel, and it's nice to be able to just kind of point your ship in the direction you want to go and be able to walk away. If I have a couple of dogs that I have to take care of. Like if there's a large distance in system that I'm traveling, well, having the Super Cruise Assist allows me to take my dogs out, do anything that I might want to do. Alright, that's that's docking control. Lomas is so Lomas Orbiter here is a ring type station. We're currently in the shadow of the planet, or I think we're orbiting a planet here. But you can see the habitation ring. getting close and kind of see if I can get, because I've run into stations before and they hurt. Some of them are moving fast enough that they can actually destroy your ship, but you can kind of see some of the living areas inside. All right, let's quit messing around.
Permission granted. Land on designated pad number 29. You're approved for automated docking sequence.
A little bit of a different view here as we come into the station. I like the external camera a lot. Don't get to use it when you're doing stuff a lot of the time. You know, well, I mean, I don't get to use it when I'm doing stuff. I'm coming in. You can see my landing gear deploy. I'm okay when it comes to manual landing, but I do tend to take a lot longer. So you gotta refuel, repair, because I took a little bit of damage.
Contact confirmed. Engaging docking restraints.
And
Welcome
now,
to the station, Commander.
now I have docked outside of the Pilots Federation, so my license for entering into that area is most likely have been revoked at this point. So here we are, Lomas Orbiter. We can see it's the Hutton Orbital Truckers Co-op. Oh boy, Hutton Orbital. There's a joke in the elite community with Hutton Orbital. I don't want to spoil it now though. Let's just take a quick look, see what's available here in the ship. I always check to see what's okay. So there's nothing available here in the shipyard. You got the Sidewinder or the Hauler. Don't want either of those really. I'm already in a ship that's a lot better. See if I can do any kind of special outfitting. Because there's one item in particular that I want to get. It's the detailed surface scanner. Because one of my favorite ways to play this game is exploration, and that's almost a necessity, almost a necessary piece of equipment. Well, I mean, it is a necessary piece of equipment because it allows you to fully map planetary surfaces. So let's see what's up on my optional internals. All right, there are those assists. No, it's not available. Okay, so it's not available for sale here, which is fine. I don't quite need it yet. I'm not going to be doing any kind of hardcore exploration at this time. Let's see if there's any. Okay, so no better equipment. But I'll grab a quick contact or quick contract. Sorry, because I'm running a little short on funds. Let's see. Now, because I have never worked for any of these people before, they have no reason to give me high-paying stuff. So I probably won't be getting, the best kind of jobs. This is another group that I kind of want to work for, the Barnard Star group. Barnard Star is another locked location. It looks like he wants me to do a lot of combat stuff, though, and I don't quite want to do that. So these three groups here, the Barnard Star, Unit of Wolf 359, and Red Squadron are all Federation type contracts. If I do them, I will start gaining reputation with the Federation itself. So what does he have? Again, more combat stuff. Okay, and I'll actually pick this one up. I'm only gonna do one mission right now. Gonna pick this one up because this will also show us planetary landing. So accept the mission. Pick up the items. All right, back, and I am taking this to Epsilon Eridani. So I can go right here from the mission board to the galaxy map and plot the location. Alright, so this is going to be a multi-jump because I am now that's outside of my single jump range. But before I do that, let's go ahead and access toggle, because I want to. Oh no! Okay, so it's not locked. I thought for some reason I was thinking Bernard Star was locked, but it's. I think it's just a couple of these around here, like Procyon, Sirius. A couple of them do have permit locks. For they're important for one reason or another. But I am going to I'm going to Epsilon Eridani. Now I've only got 2 units of cargo, so let's see if there is anything in the commodities market that I might be able to maximize some money on my journey. If I go to my hut start going through here, it'll tell you where it's consumed by. So let's see, also produced. All right, it looks like everything here is going to Dumata or Duamta. So nothing in the commodity market going to Epsilon Eridani, which is fine. But we've got the travel route mapped, so we can go ahead and leave the Lomas orbiter here.
Ship is released. Regulate your speed until free of station perimeter.
There's a large passenger. That's the Beluga. That's a Beluga. It's a passenger liner. It's like supposed to be the most luxurious ship in the entire galaxy. My old save, the one that I took out for this. Oh, keel back. The one that I just kind of deleted and started over. I had one of them. It's a really big ship. Oh, it looks like system security is fighting somebody. Either that or that's another player. Because again, I'm in an open play session. So no, okay, it was system authority vessel. So somebody out there had done something to make the system authority mad. So they went to shoot him down. Unless I know I'm getting myself into combat, I usually leave my my cockpit mode in the scanner and discovery mode, so that way in case I accidentally deploy my hard points, I won't shoot anything and make the system patrol craft angry. Because they swarm you and they'll destroy you super quickly. Well, especially like now with such a small ship. So this was a 2-jump journey. This is the mid system here, Ross 614.
System scan complete.
All right, only two objects here, so one of them is probably going to be another star. yeah, Ross is just a binary star system. Let's, you know what? Let me slow down here for a sec, because sometimes you can see. Okay, okay. So there's Ross 619A. There's B way back there. That orange dot that's in the center where that line just popped up. That I think is the other star in this system, and they're both orbiting a common center of gravity somewhere in between them. But we'll go ahead right on to Epsilon Eridani. Now it's telling me that it's 9.42 light years away, and you'll see as I start getting further and further as I'm in super cruise. So I am technically traveling faster than the speed of light right now. But you can see, like, if I did not jump into the alternate dimension of witch space, it's going to take me well over 100 days to get from here to the other location. Now, you know, you start going faster and faster and faster the longer you're in super cruise, as long as you're not inside gravity. But there is a top limit. The cool thing about that, though, is, and I don't know if it's ever been tested, but I'm pretty sure that this game is laid out like, if I wanted to, I could put my controller down and walk away for you know, however many days it takes me, and eventually I will reach the Epsilon Eridani system. You know, but with no further interaction of my own. That's silly. That'd be so silly to do. But there are stars that are close enough together that as you start getting yourself in position to jump into witch space between them, you'll notice, like, if you wanted to, you could take a 4-day trip through empty space and interstellar space and try to get there. Who knows? It might not be empty. You never know. You know, all kinds of things can happen in this crazy galaxy.
3, 2, 1.
All right. So we are at Epsilon Eridani. My transaction is going to Galano Depot, and Galano Depot is, well, first here, let's just to make sure I have the up-to-date system data, let's go ahead and trigger the honk. There we go. Okay. So a bunch of asteroid belts. There is an inactive fleet carrier. My target, Kirk, I wonder if that's a nod to James Kirk. Let's see. There are a couple of starports around here. There we are. Galliano Depot. It's 484 light seconds away. This is actually on a planet, so we are going to line myself up. I like watching the heat vents. These on top of the ship are heat sinks. Basically, they'll do so. If I get too close to the star, if I build up too much weapon heat, because certain weapons that you can use do generate heat, those will open up to vent the excess waste heat. And there's two displays of heat in the game in your cockpit. I wonder if my mouse will show up here, but here on the left side of my radar readout, that is one that tells me in percentage how high my heat is, and then there's above my fuel on the far right. There's a little active line that's bouncing back and forth, and as your heat signature gets up, it goes higher and higher, that light or that bar gets thicker and starts bouncing around a little bit more. It looks almost like a noise display, or like, you know, like if you're looking at sound waves. But we're gonna come in and orbit Galliano, or orbit. I don't even know what planet we're coming to, which planet this is that Galliano is on. Major's Mine. Okay, Major's Mine is the planet, and Galliano Depot is the planetary location that we're going to. Fly through a combat zone or a conflict zone. Alright, so we are going to come into orbit around the planet. The bad thing, well, not the bad thing necessarily, but my destination is somewhere over here. So I'm on the other side of the planet from it. There it is, Galliano Depot. Actually, I'm not on the other side of the planet. I can probably get there from here. The ship is going to continuously try to pull me back into orbit, but I'm below the orbit line now.
Flight engaged.
I'm coming in below the planet's gravity influence. Okay, I'm 100 and... well, coming in kind of quickly. So this is the glide portion of a planetary approach. As you know, this is still traveling at pretty fast speeds as I'm coming in. You can see I am currently about 16, 15, 14. I'm steadily losing altitude and speed. I can pull myself out of this. This is basically like a shallow dive in towards the planet's surface. Once you get low enough and slow enough, you drop out.
Restrict your speed when approaching this surface port, Commander.
They've got me on their scanners. Now you do have to take into consideration planetary gravity. Some planets have a pretty strong gravitational pull, and you can get trapped. Or you can crash rather easily sometimes. So I am close enough now. Here is Galliano Depot.
Access granted. Cleared for landing on docking bay 04. You are cleared for alternative.
Now, in the current game, until Odyssey comes out, you can only land on planets and planetoids and moons and stuff like that that have no atmosphere. So here on Major's Mine is an airless planet. I do like the way the look of a lot of the surface installations, though. They're kind of cool looking. No, this is a larger outpost, but it's still just an outpost. There are actual, like, full-on cities, basically. But I mean,
Touchdown confirmed. Commence system shutdown.
like
Welcome to the port, Commander.
I remember the first time touching down on a planetary surface like this and going, thinking to myself how cool it would be to live and work, live in basically an arcology like this. Maybe not on an airless moon, but yeah, I'd like there to be some kind of outside atmosphere that humans could breathe. That way, you could open a window and not die. But I go, so once you get to your destination, I can go to the mission board. Come on. Sometimes it takes a second to load up. And I am delivering 2 units of basic medicines in the name of democracy. Deliver the items. Complete the mission. And here I can choose either credits, reputation, and reduced credits, or specific types of cargo. Um, for now, I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to take the credit rewards.
Incoming message.
And somebody probably is kind of happy with me that I did that. So let's... Oh, you know what? This might... Yeah, promotion and mostly penniless. Okay, so I've gotten a promotion outside of the Pilots Federation, so now my Pilots Federation rank is probably... or effectively, passport has probably been revoked. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pull into the... they don't have a starport, they don't have a ship dealer here, but I'm going to go ahead and pull into the hangar. Check one more time to see if maybe they have the dedicated surface scanner. I'd like to get started on my exploration type jobs. I mean, you make a lot of money doing exploration. Let's look at my optional internals. I'm going to put it here. Surface scanner. Okay. Ooh, you know what? I can't afford this. The surface scanner costs 250,000 credits. I forgot about that. So, next time, so this is where I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to so once we're here in Epsilon Eridani, what I'm going to go ahead and do is log out here, and when we come back next time, I'll probably do a little bit more combat, get some more funds, and install, and then we will. I'll show you I'll refit my Cobra here for some exploration, some light exploration, not heavy duty stuff, because it doesn't really have the jump range that I'm looking for. And then we'll head out into some areas that I know can get us can get some decent money for mapping and exploring certain planets. But anyway, hope you're enjoying what I'm doing here, guys. If you do, go ahead and drop a like on the video for me. Comments are always welcome. Subscribe if you want. And until next time, stay safe and safe travels. Bye, everyone.